Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Laura, and today I have a quick tutorial on a happy mail idea. This is a combination of a couple of different things I've seen here on YouTube. So I made this actually for some recent happy mail that I've sent out. It's got pockets here. It's got the small one there on the left and two open pockets on the right. They're actually a little bit deeper than the other one. And then it's got, if you want, you can make a side pocket there along the middle. You don't have to do that. You can glue it down if you want, but I'll show you that later. And then the same thing, just opposite sides. You've got a 2-inch pocket and then a 1.5-inch pocket. So let's get started on the tutorial, and then we'll also do some decorating at the end. So it's best to use non-directional patterns on both sides. I couldn't find any that was within reach, so this is what we're going to use. So it's a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you're going to score it on the the left side at 2 inches, down the middle at 6, and on the left side at 10.5 inches. Okay, then turn it to the left, and well, basically a quarter turn, and score it down the middle at 6. Okay, so that's all the scoring we're going to do. And the cutting, it's very minimal. So starting on the 2-inch score side, you're gonna cut just down that score line to the first 2-inch score. Okay, you're not going to cut all the way through. So then on the right side, you're actually going to cut all the way to that middle 6 by 6 intersection. So cutting all the way through that small score of 1.5 all the way through to 6. Okay. And just so you know, I love these scissors. I hauled them in my Amazon haul. I'll link them below. They're excellent. They're lightweight. They're titanium. They cut really well. So let's do some folding of the pockets first, because the orientation gets a little confusing. So this made it easier for me to remember which side was what. Okay, so we're folding in the pockets and burnishing really good to get a nice folded edge, and that helps with your flat mail too, to keep things as thin as possible. And then also, if you don't use art glitter glue, you need to try it at least one time in your life. I have this small bottle, and then I also have these straight pins that I bought because the needle tip gets clogged really quickly. I actually had the needle closure tip thingy that I bought with the metal tip, but I broke it. And so I had these on hand. They're just from Joann's in a large container. So no need to order more online if you break one. So just put a small bead of glue on each edge. And the other excellent thing about this glue is that it works so quickly. You don't need to hold things down for very long for it to stay in place. So I do have other glues that I like, but this one for quick things to put together, if you know you're not going to need to reposition something, then this is the glue for you. I know that they don't ship it during the colder months, which we are in right now. So when the weather starts to warm up, it's a good idea to maybe place your first order to see if you even like it. But I also like the size of the 2-ounce bottle. It's so easy to handle. Okay, so let's flip it around, and we're going to fold down. Well, actually, before we fold the pockets, what we're going to do is make the miter cuts to have that middle opening for the pockets. So you don't have to do this lining it up to make it even, but if you want to, you can. So I folded it back on itself, just eyeballed the middle. I cut straight down just to get a middle, an idea of where the middle is, and then I mitered in each side just slightly to make that opening there. And while I'm talking, any comments, likes, and or subscribes are always appreciated. Making a tutorial was one of my goals, or making at least one tutorial each month is one of my goals for the year. So I'm glad I'm able to do this before January is over. All right, so just like the other pockets, fold down and burnish and glue each side. Well, just the outside really. You're not going to glue down the middle parts. So you have a nice opening there where you can fit maybe bulkier things if you need to, or items that you want to have a bigger pocket space that the more shallow pocket really won't accommodate as well. And the paper collection I'm using is A Magical Place by Echo Park. I have a lot of it. I was cleaning out my craft space, still working on it, but I actually have a bunch of this in one spot, so it's easier for me to craft and not have to waste my time looking for things. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's start to fold it on itself. All right, so you've got your big opening there. We are going to fold it back, burnish it good, and then you've got your small pocket on the left. Let's fold that over to the right, and so that's going to be your, that might be your cover. Yeah, that's going to be your cover. Or actually, no, it's not. Sorry. This actually will be the back. So no worries about that. That's why I'm saying non-directional paper is going to be your best bet, because all these flips and folds may confuse you like it's confusing me right now. Okay, and then so you're going to fold the back part onto itself. And like I was showing you there, I didn't like how the paper was uneven, so I just used my scissors and cut across, and it was fine even though I had already glued down some parts. And then so here we're going to glue down the left longer side and then the top shorter side to make that pocket. And if you just want to glue the whole thing down, you can, but this allows for more space for goodies. And we're going to burnish that down to get it fit a good stick. But yeah, going back to what I said, I just used my scissors and I sliced off a little bit off the top because I didn't like how it was peeking through. My paper was probably a little bit uneven, or my score lines were a little bit off. And then for closure, I'm going to use some of this seam binding from My Scrap Cabin. If you've never ordered from her, you should. Lots of really pretty colors that she's got. So I'm just going to use black. And to line up my tape runner, I am lining this up on my scoreboard so I can see where the middle is, because we're going to do it on both sides. And if you just saw there, I stuck down I stuck down some of the tape on my scoreboard. So it came off luckily, but don't do that because sometimes it doesn't come off. So yep, so it's fairly even there. No worries if it's not completely even, because we're going to cover up the seam binding. So find your middle, stretch it out and find your middle, and that part's going to go on the middle of your binding of your project. Push it down into your tape and burnish it well. And sorry, I don't think I said, but the length of the seam binding was 15 inches unstretched. So just don't pull it to measure it. You can do it a little bit longer if you want the tails of the bow to be longer. So I'm going to use some of the 4x4 cut aparts from the same collection, and these work really great for this cover. The overall project is 6 in length by 4.5 in width. So the 4x4s are great. You can also cut them down a little bit more. And then also this tape is another find from Tuesday Morning. I've seen it there several times, and then I've also seen the refills, so that's always good. Okay, so for the front cover and the back cover, I'm going to angle the cut apart to kind of give it some interest and maybe make it fit a little bit better. But like I said, you can always cut them down. And these 4x4s are great. The overall project size is 4.5 by 6. So just getting some tape there. Hope y'all are doing good. It's almost the middle of January, if you can believe it or not. So, yep, just getting stuff done here. Let me know what y'all are up to. I would be interested in knowing. So we're going to burnish that down too, get that good and stuck on there. And I don't know that I did the seam to the front, so let's just, for good measure, burnish that down. Okay, so now I'm going to make just some embellishments to put on the inside. This idea comes from Michelle at Pink Strawberries. If you're not following her, please go do that. She makes the cutest things. She has one of the nicest aesthetics that I've seen so far. So what I did was I took my 2¼ inch scallop punch and I punched out a couple of backgrounds. And then I took my 2-inch round punch, and those are going to be placed on top. So what I'm doing here, just assembling them, the scallop is going to go in the back, and then I'm going to use some foam tape, which I got from Dollar Tree, and this stuff will last you a long time. There are so many pieces, you can even cut them down. And I'm going to use 2 pieces because it's a little bit larger of an embellishment. I'm going to layer these up. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to get some of the stickers from the A Magical Place sticker book. I swear, I think I have everything in this collection. I might even have the chipboard frames. So, okay, so just position that how you want it. I love how the dark and the light offset each other. Okay, so then I'm going to pick out some stickers to put on here. That one says, "Oh, happy day." And the other one, I'm trying to remember, well, it'll show up here in just a minute, is Wish. And if you see, it kind of looks like a black doily if you look closely on the outside. So yep, those are my 2 embellishments. And these I'm going to add to those bigger pockets. That way they're not too smushed down and they've got some room to move in there. So they're not too snug. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to take some of the ephemera. So this is great. It's a great project for ephemera shares, for tea swaps, for paper swaps if you want to put smaller pieces of paper for scrapbooking projects. Anything that you can fit into this smaller project. And I believe flatmail through the U.S. Postal Service is, I think, 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. Anything larger than that, they'll reject. So keep that in mind, and also keep that in mind that it's going to go in an envelope. So the envelope is going to account for some of that thickness. So yep, I'm just adding. See, okay, so you can see there how the direction is upside down. That's why I'm saying it's great. It's better to use non-directional on inside and outside. But that is my little project that I wanted to share with you. I really enjoyed making these. They were quick to make. I made, I think, 3 or 4 a couple of weeks ago when I was sending out Happy Mail. I didn't do the extra closure, but that's actually really great if your project is really stuffed. So yep, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you're enjoying any of my other content. Follow me on Instagram if you are interested. But yep, let me know what you think, And again, any comments, likes, and or subscribes are always appreciated. I hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye.